Peace, family. How y'all doing out there? It took me a while to make this video. Actually, I made a post about it years ago on Facebook. That is how you know it was a long time ago because it was on a post on actual Facebook. I don't be on Facebook. I use Facebook for business, and whatever I post on Instagram, it automatically goes to my Facebook. That's just how I have it set up. So that's how you know it's been a long time coming since I made this video. I also have like three other videos that I'm finally coming around to actually record and make. Stay tuned for those because one of them is going to be absolutely hilarious. But um, this one in particular, you guys, talking about myself growing up as a dark skinned black man growing up in America. For those, a little bit about me, for those of you that don't know, I was born in Chicago, right? Born in Chicago. Then I don't remember it because I was so young, I was so little. My family moved to Hanover Park. After Hanover Park, it was Maywood. Maywood I remember, right? I remember doing a lot out in Maywood. Then from Maywood, we moved to Bolingbrook. I was there for middle middle school, a little bit of elementary, middle school, and high school. All right, and then moved around from there from Plainfield, then to Shorewood for a little bit, and then the situation that I'm currently in right now. All right, so growing up in those different areas, right? For those of you that don't know, Maywood is like a suburb or like it's a suburb technically, but it's like on the outskirts a little bit like of the city, so to speak. So you kind of got like the Chicagoland area. Then you got your hoods, your ghettos, west side, south side, sometimes east side. Then you have some of the suburbs in the surrounding area. So like LaGrange, Cicero, um, Hanover Park, um, uh, not Lamont. What's the other one? What am I thinking of? It's not Lamont. What's the other one? Chicago Heights. Um, yeah, stuff like that. It's just on the outskirts. I can't think of them right now, but they're on the outskirts. So like you got Maywood, Bellwood. Those were right next to each other, but we lived in Maywood for a little bit, and predominantly it's black folks. I know that's all I remember ever really seeing when we were there. It might be a little bit different now. I haven't been out there recently, so it might be a little bit different now. This was years ago, all right, but it was predominantly black, right? And so me growing up being a dark-skinned boy, I really didn't face like too much of like colorism or like discrimination or straight out racism, bigotry, prejudice, or anything like that. I really didn't face it out there because damn near everybody else looked like me. You know what I'm saying? But then you had your different ranges. You had your light skin, caramel, milk chocolate, dark chocolate, right? But you really didn't get too much of that. A little bit because I was so young, I really didn't see, like such adult concept such as this. So just growing up, you knew like the little light skinned girls got more attention and stuff like that, but you were so young, like it really didn't matter. You get what I'm saying? Um, I did notice that sometimes the light skinned girls and boys got a little bit more like attention or popularity, if you will, being so young, but it really didn't affect anything too much. Uh, Fast forward, moving from Maywood to Bolingbrook, that's when it was like, boom, way different, right? Um, like way different. So this was like some of my first encounters with white people, right? I don't in Maywood, I don't even really remember having a white teacher. No, not for. No, I don't even really remember having like a white teacher. I know where my mom used to work, and I remember kindergarten. I remember my mom. She had like some coworkers. Cause my mom teached in I can't remember what it was, but it was a downtown school. It was downtown. It was on a rooftop, believe it or not. Um, but I remember us all being at the rooftop. Uh, Damn, I can't remember, but I had a ball. I remember being there. The little Hispanic girl. I had a thing for Mexican girls back then. I had a really big thing because it was like new. I guess I don't know. They just caught my eye. I don't know. Um, but I remember being in Maywood, and believe it or not, those of you obviously on my channel, y'all know I'm Poly. Believe it or not, in second grade, I had two little girlfriends. I remember that. It was Desiree and Sierra. I kid you not, and they knew. They knew. It was like I would be with Sierra in class and Desiree on recess, and they knew about it. It was craziest thing. It was second grade, mind you. But anyway, that's a whole different story. But just growing up, you guys, like I remember, um, as I got older, and like I moved out from Maywood to Bolingbrook. So, oh, sorry, you guys. Sometimes, um, when cause we stayed, we even though we was in Maywood and in Bolingbrook, we spent a lot of our time still out in the city. And I could just remember growing up that I had family. It was, believe it or not, it was mostly like family, and then I have some friends that would bring up how dark skinned I was because this is around the time I was getting darker, right? So like towards the end of elementary and more so like middle school and high school, in between that time frame, I used to get made fun of a lot for being dark skinned, and not only just being dark skinned, but I was like you going through puberty and stuff like that. Like your body is like you're growing into your body, and I looked awkward. You know what I'm saying? I was like super skinny, no muscle to me, and like I had a big head, big feet. Like I was a target to get made fun of. Um, and then what didn't make it no better, we didn't have no money growing up. You know what I'm saying? We had no money, so my mom used to shop at Marshalls, Burlington, sometimes Walmart. Trying to think other little outlet stores in the city and stuff like that. And she used to buy us clothes, or buy me clothes because I was the oldest of three boys. That was like way bigger than how I actually was because my mom had a tough time finding clothes for me because I was tall but I was skinny. And so most of the clothes that are in the stores, if you need them for taller people, they it was like big and tall. So like I'm 6'2" now, but just imagine like back then I'm taller than most of my peers and I'm skinnier than most of my peers. And so my mom is buying shirts that's uh like table coverings, tablecloth, whatever you want to call it. Like they're just way bigger than what I need. Pants, extra baggy, like it was ridiculous. And so not only was I getting made fun of for the clothes and stuff, like I was getting made fun of my dark skin, and it was a double-edged sword, right? So I would get made fun of being dark, and also back then I had a lot of my family members that I used to hang around a lot. I was the darkest one out of them. I think at that time, I believe only a few of my cousins that I can think of the top of my head that was just as dark as I am. I think of my cousin Maurice, my cousin Jabril, maybe my cousin Freddie, but they don't. My cousin Anthony, but I can't really think of. Everybody else was either like a chocolate complexion or lighter. You get what I'm saying? So they didn't really get made fun of like I did. They probably did in their own ways, but they were typically lighter than me. And at that time, you were getting names called like African booty scratcher, you African. I used to have like a couple people at school used to make like the African like clicking noises and shit at me and stuff like that. Like that stuff used to affect me. I used to laugh it off. You know what I'm saying? But I used to, it's crazy. I used to avoid walking certain ways because I knew it was a group of people that was right there that'd just be talking mess. You know what I'm saying? Shooting the dozens, as they called it back in the day, roasting, riding, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I used to completely avoid those people at all. You know what I'm saying? I used to literally walk a whole nother direction so I wouldn't get made fun of. Or I used to make sure if I walked down a certain hallway, I was with a group of like my real close friends, so I wouldn't get made fun of. Or I knew one of my homies that he used to be able to come up with something to fire back at people. I used to walk the hallways with him, so I knew that if they had something to say, he'd fire back out. And he was dark like I am, so you know what I'm saying. I just had a confidence back then. I had a confidence. I was kind of shy, timid, kind of like to myself when it came to school, and that was kind of like my reality, man. And even like some of my really close friends and family, it was more so out of love, but it still rubbed me the wrong way. You understand what I'm saying? Like, but I just didn't make it a big deal. You know what I'm saying? I kind of just rolled with the punches. It's a few things that I just grew up with, just handling myself, that I never really told my parents about. You know what I'm saying? I just dealt with it. I don't know. It was just me. I just dealt with it, like the ridicule, getting teased, and all of these things. I just dealt with it. It was like I just sucked it up. You know what I'm saying? And in a way, it helped me now as an adult. You know, dealing with like being dark skinned and stuff like that. It's first of all the culture completely shift. I remember back in middle school, like my cousin Lil Greg or my cousin Kenny, they were it. You know what I'm saying? Because they light skinned brothers, right? And so they were it. They had all the flyer stuff on and stuff like that. Like girls used to flock to them. You know what I'm saying? And I would get certain girls to like talk to me and stuff like that. And remember, this is middle school and high school. Your world view is completely different from the real world. High school and middle school is not the real world. You get what I'm saying? It's not the real world at all. But that's all that's all you dealing with on a daily basis. So you don't know no better. And so like girls and performing good in sports was like kind of how you like stacked up and measured. Also in the clothes that you put on and stuff like that. It was kind of like that's what it was for you. For us growing up, that was it. That was all we cared about. And so my cousins and stuff like that, they'll get all the girls trying to talk to them, getting, you know what I'm saying, getting attention and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? My cousin Lil Greg, my cousin Kenny, my other cousins. You know what I'm saying? Like that was just it. You know what I'm saying? Like they used to get all the girls, and I just used to be sitting there. Just okay, I'm just here, type deal. You know what I'm saying? But that's something that I just noticed, and it made me really insecure, y'all. Just seeing that like I'm not being wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not favored or whatever the case may be. It do something to you, man. Especially like growing up, you being young. I grew up with a lot of insecurities about my dark skin, right? And like nowadays, it's a complete shift. I remember talking to my cousin, Lil Greg, not too long ago, and he be outside. You know, so my cousin, he be outside. I don't be outside. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just on my personality like that. But he be outside, and I was in. This is how I knew I still had that insecurity a little bit going on. Um, I was just talking to him, and I was like, "Yo, I bet like you like." I hinted at. I don't remember the conversation specifically, but I just remember like saying like you got all the shorties and stuff talking to you and stuff like that. And he was like, "Cuz that's not how it is." And I'm like what you mean? Like you know what I'm saying? Girls be on you all day. He was like, "Nah, bro." He was like, "Nah, cuz they want men like you now." And I'm like me. He was like, "Yeah, they want the dark skins. Y'all winning out here." And I was just like, "Whoa." Like it was a culture shock to me. For one, I don't be outside. Two, I always had that rooted insecurity, like dark women don't like dark skinned men. You get what I'm saying? So it just it was deeply rooted in me to the point where my cousin had to kind of tell me like, nah, that's not how it is, cuz like he was saying it's hard for him now, and I was like, hard for you? But you know what I'm saying? Like he was just giving it to me real. Like he was like, yeah, he was like, I get women here and there. You know what I'm saying? I get them, but he was like, but they really into y'all now, and I had to like sit back and like process that a little bit. And I'm just like, really, you know what I'm saying? First of all, I don't be outside like that, so it's completely, you know, a shock to me. And I'm just like, man, like, wow, it's crazy. Like it was just a big shock to me. But I just knew like just they had it out here, but that's not the case. And I remember just growing up, man, it was just so tough, bro. Y'all don't understand, like just growing up so tough, like it really, really affects you like that. Just growing up and like how you get certain people looking at you. I rem- People don't think that stuff is real. It might not be as blatant as before, but I remember walking through certain stores in certain neighborhoods and getting looks from people. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the craziest thing, some of the crazy experiences that I had coming out of Bolingbrook, and that's really where all of this happened. When we moved from Maywood into Bolingbrook, that's when all of this like arise. But it was never blatant. It was always like indirect. It was only one time it was blatant, and I was what grade was I in? I think I was third grade, fourth grade. It was something like that, and it was two white boys. They were like skater type boys, a little bit of gothic because you could tell from their attire. And I'm a little boy. I don't know, and the conversation got to a point where the boys was like, like the way he said like the way you're dressed, you look like a gang member, you look like a gangster or something like that. And I looked and I didn't know how to take it. I'm I'm in third, fourth grade. I don't know. And so I go back to the car and my mom was like, hey, how was school and stuff like that. Like she noticed my energy was off. She was like, what happened? And I was just like, those two boys right there said I look like a gang member. My mom, need I mind you, I'm gonna show y'all my mom. Put her somewhere y'all gonna see her. My mom is like 5'3", 5'4", little lady, my mom wouldn't bust a grape. You understand? My mom said, "Who said you look like a gang member, Sean?" Back then, everybody in my family called me Sean. She's like, "Who said you look like gang member, Sean?" I was like, "Them two right there." My mom got out the car and beat like beeline straight to these two white boys, and it was like, she was like, "Come here, get out the car." And she was like, "Did one of y'all say my son look like a gang member?" They look, who they they caught. He's like, "Who?" She's like, him right here. Come here, Sean. Y'all, which one of y'all said he looked like a gang member? They was like, "Oh, we was the." They stuttering. She was like, "Lit." My mom went off. I don't even remember what she said. My mama went off. She, they, just laying it down flat on everybody, just going in on these boys. And then I just remember getting in the car. My mom was like, she was like, "Don't ever let none of these little boys out here say that you a gang member, because you're not." Put her seatbelt on, drove up out of there. I'm like, yo. Yo, like what? Like my mom, she is always, my mom and my dad, but my mama always seemed to be kind of like the leader when it came to like me and my insecurities, if you will. Now my dad, I love my dad. Don't ever get it twisted about my dad. My dad lived. I was blessed to have my dad. Uh, but my dad was more so passive about a lot of things, right? And that's a whole nother conversation. He was a little bit more passive with certain things, but he did tell me how. My dad showed me how to operate in out here, if that makes any sense. He told me how to like firm handshake, stand up straight. Like if y'all notice, like even now, like I keep correcting my posture. It's because my dad. You know what I'm saying? He like sit up straight. You get what I'm saying? So like my dad showed me how to operate, but when it came to like the emotional sides of things and how I was feeling about certain things, my mom was the one to kind of be like, kind of like that rock and stability for me when I went through emotional stuff out here. Um, and maybe it could, I don't know, maybe it could be due to the fact that my mom is more chocolate complexion, and I'll put my dad up here too somewhere. My dad is definitely light skinned, so maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on that. And then I'm gonna put my grandparents up here. They'll be somewhere because they do matter. My more so my father's parents. They more so matter in this situation. When it comes to me with my dealing with colorism and being more dark skinned. My grandmother, light skin. Her and my dad look almost alike. I don't look like my dad per se. A lot of people say I look more so like my mother, but that may be true. But the thing is, I more so look like my grandfather. I'm gonna put some pictures up so y'all can see my grandfather. I look like my grandfather and his sons, almost identical. And me not having that relationship necessarily with my grandfather, and me not having someone to kind of help besides my mother coach me through me being dark skinned, I think that also has a bit of effect on me as well. Like I said, my mother, she's more chocolate complexion. I'm darker than my mother. My brothers as well, I might put them up here too. All of my family pretty much is okay with me putting them up here. My mother has a whole YouTube channel. My dad has a business where he has to put his face up there. So I'm pretty sure they're okay with me putting their pictures up. My little brother, both of them have been in publications. You can go see them. So I'm pretty sure they're okay with me putting them up here. So, um, but all of us were dark. We're dark skinned. I'm dark skinned. My little brother Jalen, he's dark skinned. My little brother Noah, they're dark skinned, and I don't think my dad he could teach us how to be black. You know what I'm saying? Like how to be a black male. You know, having a black male experience out here because that's no different. You know what I'm saying? They treat us all the same. You get what I'm saying to a certain extent, but me being dark skinned and being you know teased and ridiculed about my dark skin and my dark complexion, my dad really couldn't help navigate me through that. But um, I've noticed as I've gotten older, I kind of had to find that confidence myself. You know what I'm saying? Into being a black man and being darker skinned and things of that nature. I kind of had to navigate that myself and figure things out for myself and gain that confidence to be okay with me being darker. Now the culture shifting also kind of plays its part because we're um, not in the thing is it hasn't 100% shifted. You get what I'm saying? We still see the negative things in media, but as far as like when it comes to like mate selection and thing, you know what I'm saying, like mate selection and things of that nature and desirability, that kind of has shifted just a little bit into dark skinned people's favor. Um, More so if you're male. I can't really speak to the female experience because I've heard that their experience is still not good. You get what I'm saying? They still are um, on the losing end when it comes to that. But that's just black women in general. That's a whole nother topic that I can dive into as well. But more specifically from my experience, me being a dark skinned black man, um, it is really nuanced and it could have it has really shitty moments and really good moments. Then you can also, and I've had this before too. I've had it where you're kind of being fetishized a little bit because of your darker complexion. I've had that before. I've had a message or two from certain, I'm not gonna say who, but certain groups of women. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Kind of fetishize, you know what I'm saying, me because of my dark skin, and it's weird, bro. It's weird. And the reason why I talk about that now because it also affects my selection. For those of you, obviously, that I'm poly, and when it comes to me choosing my women, for me personally, I'm never going to marry outside of my race. When it comes to marriage, that's all. I'm actually gonna make that into a video, and I'm gonna do a deep dive into that. But I'm never gonna go outside my race as far as marriage is concerned. And then also too, how I want it from in my family. I want all color ranges. I want the 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 super light bright yellow bone, red bone to the purple blue black queen. I want all of that in between. I really do, and it's simply because I know how it feels to be on the the losing end and the winning end. I guess you could say like in that regards. So I would really like it for me to have the whole color spectrum. You get what I'm saying? first of all, it's attractive to me. And then also too, just in my past, like you look at the different types of women that I've been with. I've been with super light, bright, super dark. Like it really doesn't matter to me. But I would say me growing up, dark skin, I do see that it has affected more so me in the inside with how I think about certain things and my insecurities that I had before that are no longer here now. I would say now it's different for me now. Like I walk around with pride. You know what I'm saying? That I have my darker skin and things of that nature, and anything anybody has to say to me now, it doesn't affect me because for one, I probably heard it before, and then two, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I kind of feel like you're projecting whatever BS and insecurity that you have about yourself, and you're trying to project it onto another person, and I'm not the one for it. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I just wanted to drop that in on you. This was a video that I've been sitting on and finally actually made. Just growing up like dark skin and my whole entire journey with being dark skinned and navigating just life in general, being dark skinned from other communities to our own community. I kind of dealt with it all, if you will, when it comes to it. But let me know, like in the comments, you guys, like if any of you have ever, experienced any of these like trials and tribulations when it comes to being dark skinned. And then I've also heard on the other side too that there are some people who are light skinned who have faced, discrimination in their own family for being more light skinned. I've heard that before, which is so crazy to me. But yeah, if y'all got, add your little 2 cents in, put it down in the comments, and then that's it, y'all. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. Peace, family.